Hello. Welcome to Kaiju Kin, episode 6. What episode are we on now?
Yeah,
6 or
I don't know.
7.
I think it's
I
sick.
think. But as you can see, we have two very special guests. We have my fiance Imani and Mav's
My girlfriend
girlfriend.
Alexis.
Yep. So, the reason that they are here today is because, um, oh, and sorry ahead of time for my video. For whatever reason, it's still glitching out. That wasn't fixed from the last episode we recorded remotely. So I'm working it out. I'm trying to figure it out. So anyway, they're here because they both really like Mothra. They enjoy the girl power. Um, and technically, me and Mav already recorded this episode on our own, and it didn't actually record. So we were so discouraged that we were like, how can we make it up to the people? And so we're like, you know what? Let's bring in some brown, beautiful women and go from there. But just give a fresh take. That way we're not just repeating ourselves and stuff, you know? So,
Yeah. And plus, they like Mothra a lot, so they get a
yeah.
chance to
Like, look
talk
at her
about it.
shirt.
Yeah,
So,
I need to
it's
get her
really
some
cool.
Mothra clothes.
From merch.
Yeah, represent.
But, all right. So, let's get to talking, I guess. I won't share my screen. That way it doesn't go all crazy. But do you guys want to start? Who wants to take first lead? Who has the first notes?
So, my first notes, are just the start of the movie. Do you want to get into that?
Mm.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting.
So, the ship that these guys are on goes down in nuclear testing waters, and there's only 4 people left. And there is no radioactive damage on them, even though they were in very radioactive areas. And so everyone was like, what the hell? And so they figured out that the natives made them drink this special juice that was like ran away from fallout and just cured them of radiation goop.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, my notes kind of take place a little earlier than that. Yeah. So before that, the guys in the helicopter that were trying to rescue the guys on, the island, the radioactive island. So I just found it funny because they were like, after a while, they were like, oh, we're running out of fuel. But then the second they see the survivors, they're like, oh shit. And then they attempt to rescue them instead.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like, oh, okay, so you were just gonna leave them there and just say, oh, we ran out of fuel.
Yeah.
But then they were like, oh, wait, yeah, okay.
So, yeah, the only thing I had was they're in the atomic test area, and then my next note is that the English dub is using Japanese accents. So the only way I think that you can watch this movie nowadays, at least unless you have the DVD or something, is the either through Max or Tubi, which is what we watched. The first time we watched it in Max, the second time we watched it on Tubi, just because I wanted to see if there was a difference. There wasn't. It's still the English dub with the racist Japanese accents, so that's cool.
Speaking of
Um,
racist,
you gotta get right into that.
yeah, so I guess they all went back to the island to be like, hey, there's natives here. It's supposed to be an inhabited island, uninhabited. And then there was a bunch of guys in blackface as the natives and black everything.
hmm Yeah, the people on the island were painted as if they were brown or black, and then spoilers for the end of the movie. But later on, there is a recreation, a play, and they're painted even darker than they were on the island.
Yep.
So,
Yeah. So,
so
A lot of
uh,
blackface.
Japan is racist in the 50s,
very.
man.
Because both Raids Again and this movie are very racist. I don't think Rodan had any, at least that none I can think of right away, but
Well, it was so self-contained that there wasn't really room for any.
yeah. So the reporter sneaks on the boat when they went back. There's a government conspiracy with the Russian guy who was there, who was like, well, he's like a fake Russian. It's Bulgaria,
Rolusian, right?
was it?
Yeah, it's Relucia.
Rubusia. I think
Yeah,
Bulgaria is a real place. I don't know why I said that. So they were like, maybe he's trying to do this because the government is making him or something. And
No,
so
turns
they all
out he's
go
just
there and they all like are exploring the island. And there's some. They get like this one guy gets grabbed up by that can only be described as hentai plants with a bunch of tentacles that like wrap around him and like hold him up.
Yeah, the vampire plant. Because when I was watching with her, I was like, "Oh no,
Yeah,
tentacle porn."
when Chujo is choked out unconscious by the vampire plant, they try and wake him by shaking him very violently.
Yeah, they're like, "Wake up, Chojo! Wake up!"
In the plant, right?
Huh?
Wasn't it in the plant while they were doing that?
No, it's after the
Plant lets go of him.
Yeah,
Okay.
because the fairies do something, and
Yeah. They tell the plant to fuck off.
basically,
And
Yeah, and then right after that, Nelson pulls out his little gun when he tries to take the girls the first time,
freaky.
even though everybody has rifles, but they still panic.
true. You know
Like, they
what?
all
I
have,
forgot
like-
about that.
Yeah, like he was like, "No, I won't," and everybody's like, with their rifles.
Mm-hmm. Did you guys rewatch it?
Yeah,
Yes.
today. Well,
Oh.
like I said, we started it and then we didn't finish. So,
Okay.
um,
So you guys have it
But-
fresher than we do. Way fresher.
yeah.
That's like the extent of how much we watched.
Well, you also mentioned go back to your earlier note for when they're on the boat, because it's a similar thing to where when the reporter guy breaks into Nelson's room and is like pretending to be housekeeping or whatever.
Oh yeah.
He tries to kill him then.
Yeah, he's like, "You don't really think I'd let you leave," and then he laughs all evil like, and then it's like, what were you gonna do? You were really gonna kill that guy in your room and just like be like, "Hey, everybody, I got a dead body in my room. We should just throw it overboard."
Yeah.
Whoa, I'm
Throw him out through the
glitching.
window.
I mean, once
Yeah,
you got to
I was
the
like-
island, you could just dump the body, you know?
What the hell?
You
All
mentioned
right.
murder.
Yeah, I know. My phone don't like that. All right, I apologize. The quality's about to get much worse. We're gonna switch to her webcam.
Yeah, they didn't like that.
Oh no, I can't.
Oh no,
We might have to re-record this.
that wasn't even in the recording. It was like a split second before.
Yeah, it didn't make it. But anyway, all right, we're back. So, like I said, I apologize for the audio for this episode and the video.
You can see him just barely. You can see his little king still sticking.
Oh, I was like, oh, I'm not allowed to drink water?
No, you're allowed to drink one.
I was like, fucked up rule to have, but okay. I see.
No drinking on the podcast. Yeah, because it might be in Rodan, but I was drinking there. But I know I was drinking a bunch of Dark Mothra. I'm glad that's all.
It's fine. You can see all my other stuff. But what were we talking about? Oh, the boat. Yeah, he tries to kill the guy. He tries to kill the reporter man
In his room.
In his room, and he's like, we were like, okay, so what are you gonna do? So either you try and dump the body overboard, but then you still have to explain that, or
To a bunch of scientists.
you have to go in and explain now that, yeah, I killed this guy. So what are you gonna do about it?
Just toss him out through the boat window.
With his gun. Yeah, I killed this guy.
His porthole.
Yeah, his porthole.
Just put it in a bag, you know? Stuff it up real good, you know? Maybe just remember him a little bit. Then, like I said, when you get to the island, have a dangerously, like,
Just dig a hole.
suspiciously big bag with you, go off like, on your own, and dump the body.
Yeah.
True.
Not suspicious at all.
Solid plan.
Toss him through the
Creepy.
vampire cannibal plant. Or cannibal plant.
Yeah. Oh no,
Just
this
feed it
guy
to him.
wasn't totally dead already and already decomposing. This totally
Yeah.
just happened.
They'll never know.
He got scurvy.
Yeah.
from their 10-minute boat ride.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Um,
and then after tentacle porn,
Hmm.
um,
That's when the little girls show up, and then they are like, "Oh, little girls! Like they must be local children." And it's like, "No, they're fully grown. They're just a foot tall." And it's like, "Yeah, sure, buddy, whatever you say." And then he's like, "No, I'm telling the truth. I'm a scientist." And so they're like, "All right, we'll go investigate tomorrow." And then so they go back, and then that's when Nelson snatches them up and then points his little tiny gun at them. So
and then the
yeah,
natives show up, and he's like, "We'll shoot our way out." And it's
and they
like,
do. They kill a lot of them.
yeah, that's true. Which is weird because the natives just keep walking directly into the bullets.
They're walking like
their
doing their
priorities
little
are
like
straight.
clicker thing. Yeah, I have a video spinner. But like they're doing their like little clicking thing, and they're doing their little like song. Boop, boop,
Yeah.
boop, and then they keep getting killed and go, "Ugh." And then they just keep killing them. Like they don't back away once they all start dying.
Yeah.
Because in a very similar vein in King Kong, once they killed that one native, they all like ran away.
And the
Once,
Peter Jackson one, no, they started shooting because they all came with guns.
yeah,
Because they killed that one guy with like a rock or something, like
and
that
then
one shipmate, and then the other people came in and
killed like all of them.
they started lighting them up.
Speaking of King Kong, what he
Mm-hmm.
does with those fairies once he kidnaps them is steal the plot of the movie by putting on a show and making them a wonder of the world, and
So bright.
they're like kidnapping things from this native island and show it off to everybody for lots of money.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like a
Make
what
a
do they have at
story.
the state fair? The world's smallest woman, basically.
Yeah. I remember when you weren't with me, but when we went to the fair, I went in to go see her and the like spider lady.
Yeah,
And then I was like, because I was always scared of them, like when I was a kid. And then I was like, this is freaky. So I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go in and see them. So I went in, and the little lady was just a little lady sitting in a chair. She was like, "Hey, how you doing?" I was like, "Oh, hello."
She's very chunky.
And then I just walked out. Like I literally went in, looked at her, and walked right back out. I did the same thing with the spider lady because that was stupid. It was just like a fake Halloween decoration spider with a hole for the head, and she just sticks her head out like, "Hey, how's it going? You guys want to get eaten?" And everyone's like, "No." It's like, "All right, sorry, my bad." And they just,
oh,
I did the same thing. I walked right out. I wasted mom and dad's money because I just wanted to see them, but I didn't care enough to interact with them like everyone else. So I just went in, saw what I had to see, disappointed, so I dipped.
yep. Because those have been the. I wonder if they've been like the same people for these 20-something years because
I
that
don't
thing is
know.
there every time.
I don't think the spider lady is probably the same. I don't know because they have the world's smallest horse too.
Yeah,
Nothing.
Do we need to open this?
No, I just.
He sees us.
Yes, he does.
Hello. Can't talk about that.
No.
For legal reasons, in a public forum, we cannot speak on what is outside of our window.
they're just there.
Well, they're in their habitat.
Oh, okay.
One of them.
I didn't know it went all the way around there.
No, because it's right outside my window of the office. Remember?
Anyways,
Anyway,
Turn your phone back on.
so yeah, so Nelson exploits the little girls by putting on a show, saying, "Look at the world's smallest women," and we found them on an island.
oh, we skipped some stuff. At least in my notes, because I said that they used Barbie dolls or something for the stand-ins for when they like yoink them.
Yeah, you just see.
They're like
Yeah,
little
they're just-
stoic dolls. They're just like ah.
Yeah.
I like how we all did the same thing.
We watched.
But,
Me and her watched Invasion of the Astro Monster recently, and when they're
Mhm.
going on and off the ship, it is just a stationary like figure. Just as it goes
Of the-
down.
Of the girls.
No, in
Oh.
Invasion of the Astro Monster.
Oh, well, yeah, that's different because it's miniatures.
astronauts.
But this wasn't miniatures; they were just dolls.
well,
Well,
when they had the
technically.
tanks and stuff, pointed at Mothra when she was like,
Oh yeah.
yeah, miniatures. Everything was
Yeah.
miniature. It was so funny.
I like the miniatures though.
Yeah.
I like it from like a, I don't know, kind of like a figure guy standpoint, because I love practical effects, and as much as you can do with practical effects, the better. Um, so like if you have little people and little tanks and stuff trying to simulate in this like fake city with the big monsters, I love that. I think it's cool.
Especially in this movie where they went like over the top with it.
Yeah, they went ham. Let me see if I can pull that up again.
Yeah, why you do that? So they put on a show and they have the girls sing their like song, their Mothra song,
Mm-hmm.
and they have the natives in the background doing their dance, almost exactly like King Kong, and they do the Mothra song that's in like every other Mothra thing ever, which is really cool. It's become a classic just because it's in this one movie. I thought it was so
Yeah, they
stupid.
even used it for, well, at least the music of it. They even used it for the Godzilla King of the Monsters.
Suddenly forgot that it looks like Weedle. It looks like Weedle.
Leave
It's
leave
in
her
like
alone.
caterpillar form.
Yeah,
It
this
looked
isn't
like
the
a Weedle.
best. This isn't the best like Mothra Barbara design, but it's really cute because it's like it looks more like a caterpillar, where it's
Yeah.
got all the spots and the moles and stuff on it, and then like the little bumps.
Let me see if I can pull it up again. Yes, I hear him.
Xander.
Yes, he's hungry.
The twins do their little
Hold on.
song.
Hold your horses. Whoa. You could keep talking. You could just like, you don't have to
You told me to
embarrass me
hold.
like that.
You told me to hold on.
Well, yeah, because which one is this? It's got to be this one.
Yeah.
There we go. So there's Larva Mothra
Oh,
from this very
look at
first movie. See, look at all the little spots.
And
Yeah,
his blue
her
eyes.
dimples are really big. She's got like a beard. Look at her.
Mm-hmm. The little barnacles,
Sorry.
Yeah.
liver spots.
Yeah, she looks more like a worm.
Like I said, she looked like a Weedle.
So that's what I like though about this because she looks more like an actual like giant caterpillar than just a walking black turd, brown turd,
The poop from a butt.
the poop from a butt.
That's
That
what he
was
said
from the
last
last
recording, and I was giggling. I was giggling the whole time. I'm a child. I'm a 25-year-old child.
Yeah.
But
'Cause
anyway.
I showed my friend Mothra's larval form, and I was like, look at her, like actual shit. And he's like, that is so sad. Like, I feel so bad for her. Listen, we all have our awkward stage of looking like poop, like actual poop from a butt. We all look a little rough. She, like,
From a butt?
Yeah, she went through a poop stage, man. That's what she's trying to tell you.
like it's literally cut into like segments.
Segments, yes, I know.
Like dog shit. And she like
Oh.
walks around like it.
Do you remember? You're really young. I don't know if you will, but you know that like the GMK playset that you have and like the little larva Mothra.
Yeah.
So do you remember the first time that like we left it out and Dad thought that I think it was Shelby at that point
Probably.
had pooped on the floor, and then he was like, he went to pick it up with the tissue, and he's like, wait a second, this is Mothra. Like literally, Dad thought it was a poop.
I mean,
That's-
it's not hard to. Because, like I said, she's segmented like dog poop. It's
Why are you looking at me like that? It's true. It's an actual fact.
I can see your dad being like, damn it. Just grabbing some tissue and just like,
This is Mothra. Oopsie doopsies.
he's the one that got into it, so like, got us into it. So he knows what Mothra is, and it's just like, oh,
Yeah. Oh, he bought the figures.
well,
Like
yeah,
he bought
so
the set. He probably just didn't look at it like in depth, but
just saw lumpy brown shit on the ground, and it's like, oh,
I mean, shit. I do that too. Me grumbling all the way to get in the paper towel.
yeah.
Grumbling all the way there.
I can only imagine the thought that went through his head when he realized it was Mothra. Like, Mothra.
You would have splayed it straight with Lysol and everything.
Yeah.
Like,
But
Picked it up, just
anyway,
ready to go to throw it out. It's just a
man, there's a lot of poop talk in this episode.
It's a shitty topic.
uh,
But anyway,
So they're sending their telepathic waves. I think the song also like makes it worse.
the song is what starts it. So
Yeah.
the song is what gets Mothra to hatch. When they first sing the song for their play, that's the first thing that like gets her to hatch out of her egg. And then as they continue on, we find out that they have like this unstoppable telepathic connection.
Yeah, like a
So-
homing beacon.
Basically, so that means Mothra beelines right through them, right through the ships and everything to them, I should say.
She's on a mission.
Yeah, literally.
You made my
Chujo does reprise his role in Tokyo SOS because in those two movies, the only canon movies are the original Gojira against Mechagodzilla, obviously, the original Mothra, and then the other like Toho like spin-offs, like the Gargantuans and all that other stuff. But Shinichi Chujo reprises his role as himself in that. The character, not the actor. And then he's the grandfather of like an Air Force pilot, and then some little kid. And so when Mechagodzilla, I don't remember exactly why, but Mothra shows up to help fight Godzilla, or maybe it's rampaging Mechagodzilla.
I think it's Mothra. I think it's just Godzilla at first, and then Guru shows up.
Yeah, but anyway, so they also recreate the ending of this movie, which we'll get to. But
I was watching a little bit of Destroya because it was on. Good movie.
Yeah.
It has a little like picture because the spoilers. The girl, the like old lady in that movie is the girl that's in 54. It's like the same. I don't know if it's the same actress, but
Same character.
Yeah, but it's definitely the same character.
Oh.
It's like the love interest girl, and what was her name? Harry, Amy, something like that.
Speaking of which, since I lost you guys. There you are. Man, we are way off topic. This is gonna be a rambly episode, but so with the anniversaries of Mechagodzilla and King Ghidorah this year, 50 and 60, I think, respectively. Or wait, no, other way. Anyway, I was rewatching the Gemstone shorts because they were anniversary specials too.
Yeah.
And then I was like I was watching videos about it because people were still debating whether or not it's actually supposed to be Godzilla Jr. or not. But I think for all intents and purposes it is. There are certain things that don't fit. But it's mainly just the way that he looks. But you can just it's supposed to be because if you let me finish, Miki, the psychic chick from the Heisei movies, she's the narrator in the beginning of the episode, or that short, the first one, with Gigan Rex, where she talks about like 25 years ago you disappeared and all that stuff,
Cool.
and then it shows it's a recreation of when Junior revives and he's like fully grown. So, oh no.
Oh, honey.
She broke it.
It's so floppy now. It's flaccid.
But anyway, so it was confirmed like she was reprising her role as Miki, so more connective tissue.
It makes sense that he's like so much stronger now is because he
grew up super fast, and then he was reborn by absorbing burning Godzilla, who was also like nuclear just because of the amount of radiation he had. So it makes sense.
He absorbed so much shit through the Space Godzilla, like crystals, through the stuff on Monster Island, being around Godzilla, absorbing Godzilla as a whole,
Yeah, that's what I'm
Spoiler
saying.
for 20 movies from now, but you know.
Nah, it's fine.
So anyway, can you turn my phone back on? Um, they have that psychic connection, and Mothra is just booking it after she hatches, and they made a box to put the twins in to stop their psychic connection.
Hmm.
So whenever they put them in the box, Mothra like kind of loses them for a second, but she's still like basically in the same direction. So it basically doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
But, I
Yeah,
think
she's like, I know what
so.
direction I'm going.
Yeah, I I think they take the twins out to do their song, so it doesn't really help too much.
Well, I'm pretty sure that they put him in the box, and then because Nelson doesn't care about the box, he doesn't believe them, so he takes them out anyway, and then he's like, "Well, the show is going to continue." So
Yeah,
Yeah, he puts them in a suitcase.
but they're also in their little box. Like they made their little carriage that they come out on part of their box. Like I think they're in
oh,
the I think they're in the box in their carriage. Which,
like it's
if you
made of
want to
the
talk
same
about
like
that,
glass stuff.
yeah, they
Well,
drew
just the carriage is just on like wires, and it's just like, "Whoosh," and then it
and
like
then it
goes to
rolls
like a
them down.
stage, and then they come out and they sing, and then they have like a whole racist tribal thing going on, and then recreation, and then bada bing, bada boom, showbiz, baby.
The because when the reporter guy and the stuff were in there talking to the girls, uh, they they were talking to them through like that yellow glass of the second black.
Hmm.
Oh, we missed some stuff. Like
Well, yeah, we were jumping all over the place.
uh, the reporter guy is like family or something like that, where they had the mouse and then the girl had like a secret
Oh, that was
camera.
Chujo. That was Chujo's little brother. He has a
Yeah,
pet albino white mouse, and there was a whole bit where it escaped, and they were chasing it, and then the bulldog guy, the reporter, he like helped them get it, but it was like in his clothes, and
yeah.
he's
And
like,
the
"Ugh."
leader had like a secret camera that she was like recording the conversation with. And she brings that back to talk to the girls.
Mhm.
Yeah,
In a little
Zenchan.
room.
Zenchan, yeah, that's the reporter guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so, what was his name in the Japanese version? Because I know it was the bulldog in the American version.
It was like Snapping Turtle or something.
Yeah, it
Uh,
was.
Hold on.
Because he doesn't let go of his stories.
Yeah,
Snapping Turtle.
Snapping Turtle.
The typical reporter. He also kind of looks like a
Zenichiro
bulldog.
Snapping Turtle Fukuda, journalist.
Yeah.
I'm blue.
Name is
Apparently, he's like a
Frankie
good fighter.
Sakai.
For some reason, he knows how to fight.
I don't think they really explain it. I think it's just like tough guy protagonist stuff.
Mothra's coming and will kill the good guys in the process of saving the twins. Because they were like, well, can't you have Mothra just kill, like, the Russian guy? And they're like, nah. She's gonna
No.
kill everyone that gets in her way. Which is really funny because
Mothra's
Toho
supposed
has
to
a
be like the peaceful savior.
yeah, Toho literally has a rule where Mothra can't like kill people. That's why in the legendary movie King of the Monsters, when she's like hatched and everyone's like shooting at her and she's like she basically just grabs them, throw them against the wall, and then webs them up like Spider-Man. She doesn't actually like kill them; she just webs them up. Because that was one of the rules that they had to follow. Was that Mothra couldn't kill them.
She'll be right back. So anyway, we can continue on. Um,
So my next
no.
note is Mothra's design is different, which we just talked about. The kid, the brother,
Mm-hmm.
tries to come in and just take the girls because he thinks he can, and he immediately gets his ass beat by
Yeah,
the
by
Russian
grown
guy.
ass adults.
Yeah. My next note
Back.
is
Everybody's back. Hello. Okay. Anyway,
Where
so
were we?
you left, and then we started talking about the bridge where Mothra gets to like the dam, and then they start to evacuate, and then the lady and her husband have their baby on a cart with their belongings. The baby falls off the back of the cart, and then they don't realize till they're over the bridge, and they're like, "Oh no, our baby!" So then Zenchan runs full speed, yeah, and rescues the baby, and then runs back.
Just in time.
Oh no, I have to yawn again.
Don't let the mom go save the baby or anything. The police officer.
I
Well,
have
she's
a
a
bunch of problems with
woman.
that. Because, like, don't let me save my child. Like,
Yeah, they were holding the mom back.
Yeah, they restrained her. No, it's because she's a woman.
like, don't let the mom who has like a whole bunch of adrenaline pumping and like things, like a whole bunch of fear, like fueling the need to save her baby. Like, no, just let some stranger like run.
Some just reporter, like, not even a cop or anything.
Yeah,
it's because he's a man. He's a man's man.
Yeah, and he runs so much faster.
Yeah,
he's so much stronger than a woman as well.
They can carry a baby, no problem.
Oh yeah, like she carried it.
Yeah, she carried it for 9 months. That's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, fuck
they can't see what I'm
killing that baby.
Yeah.
Hey, consider way. She taking innocent lives with her.
Girl boss.
Slay, honestly. What else we got? I don't really have very many notes.
All right,
because my next note is Mothra as a vengeful spirit, which does kind of fit here. Just because she's like avenging the girls, she's going to save them, no matter the cost.
So my next note is she starts to make a victim. So as she's going along, they're just shooting at her. It's not doing anything. We have to keep doing it. It's like every other movie ever. Versus Rodan.
Bang, bang, boom, boom.
Yeah, boom, boom, bam, bam. She eventually stops to make a cocoon. Like, she crawls up Tokyo Tower and either accidentally makes it fall over by, like, just messing with it, or, it
her sheer weight.
Yeah. But, like, it falls, so she's crawling up it this way, the tower falls this way. So, I think it was the humans who, like shot it down. Yeah, they, like, shot it down on her. At least that's what it looked like. But she could have pulled it down. And then she started making a cocoon. And they were like still shooting at her while I was doing this. For some reason.
You think that at some point they'd realize, oh, this isn't working. Maybe we should regroup, figure something else out.
I wish they would fucking think that during raids again. But nope. They're just stupid. So she makes the cocoon and makes her little peanut cocoon.
Hold on, I'm gonna show an image.
Her giant peanut.
Her packing peanut.
It's a packing peanut.
Oh, Jesus.
Which it honestly might be in the miniature set. They could have just been like, perfect.
Probably.
Yeah, I would not be surprised.
Oh, God. Load the image, Google, not the whole website.
But I think that's the cocoon they use in like all the other movies. The history movies. GMK. It's like the same like packing peanut looking cocoon. Kind of looks like a nutsack if you look at it from the bottom.
There it is.
Yep.
Yep.
The packing peanut in its glory.
The nutsack.
And there's the tower, so you can see how it like fell down to build this like tent shape here.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yeah. So they made an atomic heat ray that's totally not Godzilla related.
Because they don't reference Godzilla in this movie either. We were talking about that. Like in Rodan, they talk about how the A bomb or the H bomb, the hydrogen bomb, that it was probably what awoke Rodan. And in this movie, they talk about atomic testing, and then they have the atomic flames that they use against her. Also, not Godzilla related.
They like made it on like a tank, kind of like the what was it?
The Mazers.
Yeah, Mazers.
Yeah.
And so they just decided to blast the cocoon with it, and everyone's like, "All right, make sure you have your super sunglasses on," and of course they like wait to the last second for some of them. And it's
Well,
like, oh
because
yeah,
they all put them on in sequence.
and that too. But like that last guy was the one that did. Then also like not everyone used it. Like if they were just a couple feet away, they just didn't use it. Uh, so it like cooks the cocoon, like it turns
Yeah,
brown and catches on
it catches
fire,
on fire. Yeah,
and they're like, "Oh yes, we did it!" And then she just hatches. Like we don't know if it's accelerated the process and just made it worse, or I would assume
probably.
so, considering it's atomic in the name. They just probably made it mutate more.
Or yeah, because it usually takes in the other movies. It usually takes at least a day or a couple hours. It took minutes.
Yeah,
Well, at least it seems that way. It might have still been hours because they thought it was dead, but because
yeah,
it wasn't still on fire when she busts out of it.
yeah.
Um,
So she hatches, and it's all pretty because she's Mothra, and she flies away and just destroys everything. She just like kind of like flies around where she was, and just the flap of her wings just sets stuff
yeah,
flying. All lost. And I don't know. Oh, as she was flying away, they were still shooting at her because they're like, "Oh my god, time to shoot again." When I wasn't doing anything as a baby, it was shooting at something else. And the bullets of the tanks were like bouncing off her wings, like you see it, like which I thought was really cool.
so I'm looking at something. It's Reddit, but so someone sent a picture of the atomic heat ray thingies, and it says it's an atomic heat ray gun, an early version of the classic maser cannon featured in many Godzilla and Tokusatsu films. So they continue using masers throughout the other things,
Yeah.
like apparently in other movies that aren't necessarily Godzilla, precursor to maser cannons.
So she's trying to find the twins. They're going to talk to them again and be like, "Hey, she's coming."
She's coming. Oh Lord, she coming. I was
It's.
looking
I
at
think that's
Mothra.
when they go in and like try to take her and like fight the guys, like 'cause, uh, they like go in and try to sneak in, and all the Russian guys do. They're like, "Hey, what are you doing here?" And then they like have the whole fight, and they try to go steal the twins. Um, I think the Russian guy's like already out with the twins because he goes to his farm, right?
Yeah, until well, he gets stopped at the airport. He gets randomly selected for a search,
Mm-hmm.
and then they look at his fake ID and they're like, "All right, buddy, you're free to go." And
Uh,
he's sitting there sweating the whole time. But like they look at his ID and they're like, "Nothing suspicious here. Here you go, friend. You look just like this other guy, but you have a different name, so it can't be him."
yeah,
And
because I
then
think they put out like a wanted poster or something, or like we're like, "Hey, this guy is bad. He's the
he's
one
a
with the
bad
twins that are
man.
making Mothra attack." Like everyone like knew who he was. So,
Well, because he was like a politician or something.
well, no, because
Businessman.
they're all like when he gets to Newkirk City, they're all like, "Hey, wait, it's you! Give me the twins!" You know,
Yeah,
because they are mad at him for having Mothra come like kill them all. Uh, but yeah, so they go to Newkirk City that we thought was New York, but apparently it's still in Japan.
yeah. It's well, no, it's not in Japan. It's in his country
Oh,
Relicia.
of Relicia, but originally, so hold on, let me pull up the trivia that we had before, because
right.
it says the film was originally supposed to feature American scenes due to a contract between Toho and Columbia,
That's right.
but it was replaced by Relicia in the final film,
So it
and
was
then
supposed to be a fake New York.
yeah, and then it was also supposed to, and then they changed it to have it be set in Japan because of delays. And remember, Toho didn't want to wait for them.
Yeah,
So then they did that, and then they got mad and made them reshoot it again to be New Kirk City, which was originally named New Wagon City, but assistant director Hiroshi Waryu pointed out that it sounded too similar to Newark, a real city in the United States, which is either New Jersey or Delaware.
yeah.
Um, and
Which
then,
that's probably why
boo,
the
New
ending.
Jersey.
That's probably why the new ending. The ending was but I don't know what happened to me there. I was starting to speak into your accent. Uh, uh, that's probably why the ending was so like, at least the very ending, because they had to reshoot the like the airport thing. I think a couple times, like in that trivia, they said something like that, where it's like the ending. So that
Well,
might have
because
been why
remember
this.
the original ending, he like falls off a cliff because they found where is it? Hold
Oh
on.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Let me go back to where we were here.
Well, hold on before we get there then.
Okay.
Uh,
Mountain climber who found.
we
Spoilers.
just said we're gonna wait.
I know, and then she immediately started talking. Welcome to my life. Well,
Oh, I know. I would never do that to you, honey.
Yeah, sure.
yeah, it's not like we're basically the same person.
No, I'm my own man. So anyway, he goes to Newkirk in like a taxi, or no, I think he was like, I don't know, he was in a car, and like
It's probably his limo.
he had his window down, and then this guy was like, "Wait a minute, you're the guy. Give me the twins." And they're reaching in there, and he's like, he gets out of the car with the twins, and he pulls out his little
In his
gun,
briefcase.
and he's like, "You guys better stay away. I got a gun." And then
Him and that gun.
I think this cop was like, "Hey, like, stop that," and then he kills the cop. I think.
Well, no, he kills that old man. Remember, we were arguing about that before.
How did he
Yeah.
get past airport security with a gun?
This was before 9/11.
Yeah.
That's the only thing I have to say.
Yeah.
But so he
It's also Japan.
there's an old man that they show earlier when the police, not the police. Well, I guess, but they're like evacuating the city because they have to like they're trying to get them away because they know that Mothra's heading there now, which is why they're like everyone's freaking out because he has them and Mothra's being led there because I think actually originally she was in Japan and then he took off with her and he took them out of the box, put them in the briefcase, then he fled to Relesia. That's why she went to Relesia. It was after she had her wings already.
Yeah.
um but then so anyway, there's this old man that they show with either like his wife, daughter, I don't remember now, but it was some other woman that was with him, and she like helps him cross the street or whatever. And then later on, that same old man gets shot. So like they introduced him just to kill him off,
Mm-hmm.
just to make you feel bad for a second.
No,
So yeah, he just
also-
he gets caught in the crossfire of Nelson's gun, and then he gets into a police shootout.
This is the crossfire and his bullet. He just happened to be in the way.
Yeah, he was just shooting haphazardly at old people. But then the cops shoot him, so that's the end of Nelson. And then they snatch up the briefcase, and then they get, and then Shujo, the reporter guy, and I think the girl were also there, or on their way there.
Michi?
Yeah. I'm glad you remember the names. Proud of you.
Thank you. Can't remember other people's names, but
You can't remember real people.
yeah.
I'm also terrible with names,
Yeah.
especially movie names.
But so they are headed there, and then as soon they get there, like right after it happens, conveniently. So they just grab the twins, and then they're like, "Hey, how do we stop this?" And I'm like, "You can't. Sorry."
Beats me.
So then, and then it's like noon or something. I don't know what it is, but
they
basically,
hear like the church bells.
yeah. Well, he looks up. Well, he hears the church bells, and then he looks up, and then he sees the cross, which is directly in front of the sun. So then they're like, "Oh, this is just like on the island." And I think you said last time they were talking about how they think the
Yeah,
bells sound like the girls singing.
Yeah, which okay,
I mean,
don't see how
maybe it
it's
was the
related.
same like tone, but
I don't know.
so it was just whatever. So then they devised this plan that they're going to get they're going to clear the airport, and they get like the paint trucks to paint her symbol on the landing strip and the airport, and then so she can land there, and then they just basically hand off the twins like a custody kid. They're like, "All right, here you go. See
Yeah,
you
pretty
next
much.
month."
There's like a 3 3 o'clock on the dot. Play these bells, and then they did.
Yeah.
When she lands, but I don't know why, but she's just like, oh, that's my cue to just go lay down, and then she lands, and
Well, she goes to
Yeah,
where she
she's
was
like,
summoned, basically.
that looks familiar. Hmm.
and
And
then
then I'm sure that after they weren't in danger anymore, the fairies were like transmitting a different signal to like, hey, we're chill.
maybe
Don't destroy
so,
anything.
but
Just land.
they set the twins down to go run towards Mothra, but Mothra is like so far away. The twins are like this tall, so
They're literally like a foot tall.
they have
Yeah,
to
it's
like
like miles for them.
run like a whole marathon just to get
Yeah. It's like y'all couldn't.
climb the beast to get to the top of her head.
Yeah, they just cut away because it would have been too awkward to have that to watch them have to try and get the like on top of Mothra and the whole transition. So they just kind of like keep cutting back and forth to like our protagonists and then them, and then so they're just like working on it, and
Also,
then
the scale was really weird because Mothra
yeah,
supposed to be huge, and his twins were supposed to be like a foot tall, but they looked human sized next to Mothra,
yeah,
which was
until
cool.
they get on her, and then they're like the size of her like teeth.
Yeah.
So whatever, but
You were talking about that we edited it the last time with the cell shooting, or not cell shooting, but cell like.
oh yeah, the cell animations. So a couple times in the movie, it was really noticeable just because the lights, like the image, like flickers. But they hand drew flying animations for Mothra, like her wings flapping. They did it a couple times, and like I think the last they do it. I think when she's on her way to Relecia, and then they do it at the end of the movie when she flies off. Which was pretty cool that they did that. Just to have, I guess, it look nice and fluid and uh, better than they could with the, and maybe also to show like her flying out,
Yeah,
like off camera, because that'd be hard to do with a giant puppet.
but it looked really good because it's like
Other than the
whenever she,
flickering, yeah,
yeah,
very fluid.
um, whenever they show like a puppet, like they have her ways to like this one they were like actually flapping.
Yeah, like what's up?
And it's like they haven't been able to do that properly since I think like, Legendary with because like even Final Wars and stuff they didn't do it like that fully with like the CG flapping. And
Yeah.
because even GMK like she was mostly still like the whole time. Right? There's some parts where she flashed, but like I don't think there's anything that looks like that. They really did a lot of sets for that.
Yeah. Um,
And they did it
no,
like multiple times because they were like in different directions. I don't think they just flipped it because it looked
no, I'm
good.
telling you, it was like it's like old school anime to where they physically have to draw it, and then they're like clear sheets, and then so they have to do each individual drawn frame of like her wings, like stop motion, basically going like
Yeah,
that.
it
So
looked really
that's
good.
it did. I have this image in my head. I don't remember what movie it's from. Maybe you can help me. But where she gets out of her cocoon, like when she first becomes Mothra, and then her wings, like get big, like
GMK.
they go. It isn't because I remember
Like
GMK.
they like point up and then they like fill out.
Okay, because I
They can
remember in
equal.
GMK that when she sacrifices herself, typical, for King Ghidorah, his wings go like whoosh too, because
Yeah,
his wings are like down and all like shriveled the whole
yeah,
movie until he gets his power up, and then
like flaccid.
so stop saying flaccid.
But yeah, she in GMK like they come out and then her wings kind of like they form as she's coming out of the cocoon.
God, that's such a good movie.
Yeah, it really is.
We watched it like me and you watched it like what were we on the phone with each other
Yeah,
like months ago.
and then me and her watched it together too. Ah!
Oh no.
She was so embarrassed.
All right, so let me read about the original endings real quick. So, due to budget constraints and a number of delays, Toho chose to have the entire film set in Japan and change the ending so that Clark Nelson escapes with the Shobijin, which is the fairy twins, to a place I'm not going to try and pronounce, instead of his home country of Relisica. Director Ishiro Honda was hesitant to accept that change, but Toho could not wait for a reply from Columbia, and Honda traveled to Kagoshima for 2 weeks to complete shooting.
Fuck
When
Toho for that.
shooting, huh?
Fuck Toho for that.
And when shooting in Kagoshima on the island of Kyushu, the staff used a life-size doll to depict Clark Nelson to depict him falling to his death from Takachi Hononame. Something, I don't know, I butchered that. A mountain climber who found the doll at a later date misunderstood it as a real body and assumed it was a suicide and reported it to authorities, who even sent rescue teams to the mountain. Columbia later objected to the revised ending as a breach of contract, so Toho reverted to the original Envision ending setting in Newkirk City, and the ending was filmed again. According to Honda, the footage shot in Kagoshima was never developed. Toho used library footage of California in its possession to represent the scenery of Newkirk City, even though it looks like New York. Sorry, I feel like I'm really bright now. And then special effects staff had to quickly build miniatures for the city. Despite the sudden added workload, the staff responded by building elaborate urban miniatures and executing impressive special effects, which we did touch on slightly. But
Yeah.
this movie, I remember it was in here. But this movie had more miniatures and where is it? Because remember, it said that it was more than any other movie to date, including Godzilla, Raids Again, and Rodan.
Yeah. Like, they really went all out with the miniatures. There was a lot of them, and they looked really good.
There was entire city blocks that she just destroyed with like her
Yeah.
giant wings and like
Yeah.
wind machines that they created. So, Mothra was a considerable critical and financial success in Japan. It launched the career of screenwriter Shinichi Sekizawa, sorry.
Girl
Um,
boss. They love the girl boss.
Yeah. Who would go on to write several Godzilla films, as well as contribute to the Suburia Productions Ultraman series. Shout out Ultraman behind me. Let's see what else. The Monster Mothra would go
Why'd
on
you
to be
shake your
very.
head, Money? You're not like Ultraman?
She doesn't like my figures.
Oh.
No, it's not that I don't like your figures. It's just the fact that you had.
I gotta
There's
shout
so
them.
many.
I gotta shout them out. I only got 3. I got Ultraman from, which is technically like classic Ultraman, but it's like from the Marvel comics, so he's got like shading on him. Shin Ultraman, and then Ultraman from the Netflix CG anime, not Ultraman Rising.
Shout out Ultraman Rising.
Good movie. We
Good
should have
fucking
reviewed
movie.
that. Made me cry.
Yeah. Made
You
us cry too.
guys are babies. It's
What?
different when I cry. I've experienced fatherhood through animals, okay? It touched me.
Hmm.
There's one of our crying babies right now. But anyway, to continue on with Mothra and how sick she is. La la
Isn't-
la.
Isn't there a note that talks about like how much the girl audience liked her or something like that? I think you read something like that before.
Yeah, I'm looking. I'll look for it as I continue reading. But it says that she appeared in the Godzilla series film Mothra vs. Godzilla, which she got first billing. She also got her own trilogy of films in the late 1990s. Which remember that poster you showed me of like the Heisei? Well, it's Gemstone, but basically it had King Ghidorah, Rodan, Mothra,
Oh,
and it looked like
like the new designs
Rainbow
and stuff?
Mothra. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think he's tying. Well, they as the studio are gonna combine Heisei with
The
the
Rebirth.
Rebirth trilogy, which would make the most sense because
Yeah.
it doesn't fit in Millennium. So it'd be cool
Yeah.
to like tie them all together. It's
like
it's part of their anniversary series. So every year so far, the last couple years, they've done suitmations and animations of
Yeah.
the anniversary kaiju.
It's the Final Wars suit.
Yeah, so the first one I think was
Was that Hydra?
I think it was Hedora, which was the with the Final War suit, like you said, and then the second one was
Was it the
I
Jet
don't-
Jaguar one?
no, there's one before Jet Jaguar. I can't remember. I'm not gonna look it up right now. But then the Gemstone did Gigan Rex for for Gigan's anniversary. Then they did um, Megalon,
Yeah,
and
that was the latest
then
one.
so Mechagodzilla and King Ghidorah, I think, are the anniversaries this year that they're celebrating.
That's gonna
So
be so cool.
I think Gemstone, because King Ghidorah showed up at the end of the Jet Jaguar one
Yeah,
because it was his anniversary.
yeah.
So I think that because it's supposed to be Godzilla and Jet Jaguar teaming up to fight King Ghidorah, but so I think there was King Ghidorah in that art you showed me of that poster, the
I
Gemstone
don't.
one.
I don't remember. I have to find it
I think
again.
I know Rodan and Mothra were, but I don't remember if he
Yeah,
was or not. But anyway, so they're gonna use. I guess they're gonna use Mechagodzilla for that. That's if they're gonna
that'd be
celebrate
so
him.
cool.
But people were because one of the videos I saw was that his since they're doing like Heisei evolutions of these, but we already have a Heisei Mechagodzilla. Are they gonna bring back Mechagodzilla 2? Are they gonna give a new design? So
Yeah,
I'm excited. I can't wait
yeah.
for that. It's supposed
A
to be in like
new
November, I think.
Mechagodzilla design.
Another one.
Always nice to see.
Yes. Except for fuck ass what was it? The Godzilla World anime
Earth.
where he was like a city and then he was all like spiky.
I mean, it was still kind of cool. It was just
No.
lame.
No, it's lame.
It's
Anyway.
definitely different. Ready Player One.
Shut up.
Shout out Ready Player One.
True. That was a good design. That keep going on tangents. This is why our episodes are so long. But the Mechagodzilla that was designed in that movie was by our dude Jared, who did the MonsterVerse designs for the last two movies.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
So he redesigned Mechagodzilla for that movie, and then he did it again for Versus Kong, and then he distinctly had to make them different from each other.
Yeah. Well,
'Cause
he based the first one off the first Mechagodzilla, pretty much. Ready Player One.
Yeah. But anyways.
And then just did it completely new for Versus Kong.
Yeah. I was gonna shout him out too, but you can't see him. He's too tall. La la la. Also received favorable reviews in the United States when it released. Critics praising the cinematography and special effects. True. Mothra remains popular and beloved among fans of the kaiju genre due to the unique story and the fact that it is introduced as a fan favorite kaiju. Mothra is considered the second most popular kaiju in Japan beyond Godzilla. But yeah, there was something that said that she was like there were female fans more so. She's very popular with women, and then we were like, you know what? We should have our women talk about it.
Yeah. Shout out women.
I love women, especially this one.
Represent.
She's pretty cool. I can't find it.
But this is completely unrelated, but it kind of reminds me of Yakuza, where it's like Yakuza was
Don't
a
sigh.
very famous.
Nothing. No, sorry. I
It
thought
was
she
very
was like,
popular
oh,
with the ladies in Japan because the ladies love buff shirtless men. But
Very.
you come to the West and everyone's guys that are love buff shirtless men.
yes, sir.
Shout out Yakuza.
Good franchise. I still need to play those games.
Yeah.
And was I on a different website before? Because remember, it talked about how this was technically a book adaptation. Like it was a book first, and then they made it into the movie. Oh, here it is. Here's the trivia. Unlike their previous Toho imports, Columbia did not package Mothra with another movie nationwide. For its first run in Los Angeles County, it was the film occupied the bottom half of a double feature, though not officially companion features. That's stupid. I don't care about that.
We also kind of talked about the other versions of this movie's name and like their different runtimes, but we don't really go over that again.
Mothra is canon to two different continuities of the Godzilla series. Mothra and the Shobijin would cross over into the Godzilla series in Mothra vs. Godzilla in 1964. Blah, 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 blah. The film also is canon to the timeline of what was dubbed the Kiryu series of the Millennium series.
Shout out
Kiryu. Mothra and her attack on Tokyo in 1961 are recounted through stock footage in Godzilla against Mechagodzilla, and Mothra, the Shobujin, and Shinichi Chujo appear in the film sequel Tokyo SOS. The 1992 film Godzilla vs. Mothra plays extensive homage to this film. Its plot involving Mothra traveling to Tokyo to rescue her fairies from greedy businessmen. So you were right. They do it is the same plot. You were like, man, I think I'm getting it mixed up. It's just the same. It's just the same movie. Let me see here. Mothra's voyage includes her surviving a napalm attack at sea, which happens in the first one. She later builds a cocoon on a famous landmark, this time the National Diet Building, which is what they wanted for this one. I need to find that trivia. But before emerging in her imago state, director Takao Okawara tried to give Frankie Sakai, who played Fukuda in Mothra, a role in the film. However, his schedule prevented this. So I can't find that other stuff, but just take our word for it. We've never lied to you before.
Because we watched Mothra at his house all together, and I was like, "This is just the plot of Mothra vs. Godzilla."
And I was like, no, maybe we're just getting them confused, but no. It's the same on purpose, which makes sense. It's an adaptation and reboot, whatever. But
it's dumb.
Where's the originality?
Godzilla is just there. It's just like, hey. And then that's it.
No.
He gets bullied by babies.
That's what he deserves. All right. Anything else you want to say, honey? I know you're hungry. Yeah. You just want to sit there and look pretty?
Starving.
No, I have nothing to add.
Why do you like Mothra?
I mean, she's pretty badass. She has her priorities straight. She was like, oh no.
My girls are in danger.
Yeah.
Girls protect girls.
Yep.
She's like, oh no, this can't happen. Not to a greedy businessman. Oh God, no.
Anti-capitalist based.
True. What about you, Alexis? What do you like about Mothra?
I like bugs in general, so that's already why I love Mothra. She's a bug. Yeah.
Sick. Love that.
She's a girl too, so it's like girl bug. It's like
yeah.
She's
one of the only female kaiju like in the series.
So,
in the MonsterVerse, they make everyone female. Like all the kaiju, they're like, oh, this is actually female. Like I think Skyla, I think Tiamat, like, but in the originals, like it's pretty much only Mothra.
She's like, yeah, she's really pretty though, and I do think the twins are really cool.
It's cool. So when we were watching GFK, we saw the twins, and she was like,
yeah, because they're just a reference in that movie, right?
Yeah.
But well, because remember when she hatched, when we all watched it together, and then those two were like, "Yes, girl boss, slag queen." It was funny. So, all right, that's it. I'll have to edit this mishmash together. So, and again, I apologize for the audio quality. I mean, the video quality. Audio quality is probably bad too, but it's something we just slapped. Yeah, it was something we just slapped together. We were trying to get us all together to talk about it and make up for a disappointment that we had where we recorded a whole hour-long episode. We were firing on all cylinders. Turns out, camera wasn't on.
Yep.
So
bad.
It did. I cried all the way to dinner, and then I had some drinks. So, but then I was all better. Just drown your problems in alcohol, kids. That's the way to live.
Yep. Damn sure.
All right. So thank you, everyone. Next episode is King Kong versus Godzilla. So our very first titular versus fight. So it means you got to come over and watch it with me since we have the DVD. You guys can stop being gross for 5 seconds while we do the outro. Make out after. But anyway, so that's the next episode. Yeah. Hopefully we'll get some bonus content going out eventually. Just gotta figure out some stuff. But just putting it out there, starting our stuff. You got anything else you want to say?
Like and subscribe.
Like and subscribe, baby. So thank you guys.
Subscribe, follow us on Instagram and Archer21 and Kaiju King Podcast.
And the Cowpoker.
And the Cowpoker, I guess.
Yeah, Kaiju Kin Podcast. Well, it's Kaiju Kin Pod on Instagram.
Yeah, it's on Instagram now. We have an Instagram page.
Yahoo!
Woo!
We didn't mention
So
that at all.
no, we didn't, but that's fine. It's really just for posting clips. Any like new Godzilla news or figures or whatever that releases, we'll talk about it. If apparently G Fest came and went, nothing was really announced there, so that's probably just a more of a fan event than I thought it was originally. But we're
Yeah.
definitely gonna try and go next year. So the more we can build up this podcast in the meantime, because the Kaiju Kingdom podcast, which I did not realize was a thing until afterwards, apologize for borrowing some name similarities, but they had a whole panel there, and I was like, oh man.
Um,
So
I don't know if it was there, but did you see the Mechagodzilla cosplay that's been going
yeah,
around on Instagram where that
it
twists
was
his
G
hands?
Fest. Yeah,
That was cool.
that was G Fest because they and that one pink Godzilla Evolution cosplay was there too because they were posting pictures of them. So I really want to go next year. So hopefully that'll be something we can do. Um, but yeah, that's it. Put your thumbs up. Come on. Yeah.
Woo!
All right. Catch you guys in the next one. Bye.
Bye.